Get our full-blown acceleration. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the all-new 2021 Maserati Ghibli GranLusso. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to Maserati of Salt Lake City for giving me some time with this Ghibli. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. So under the hood we have a twin-turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 424 horsepower and then 428 pound-feet of torque. Let's go over the front end of the Ghibli. First off, this paint is called Blue Emozione and it looks absolutely fantastic. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but just look at the metallic flake here in the sunlight and just how it shows all of the body lines there on the hood. I think this is my favorite color for a Maserati, potentially. Coming down below, we've got the full LED lights. Notice we've got all the accent lights. Kind of looks similar to what they had in the Ferrari 458. That is not a bad thing to be compared to by any means. And then notice that we've got all of the vertical slats here across with the Maserati logo in the center and then just up above. I love how it's finished in chrome, so it really pops out. And then you've got it down below here. We've got all the venting here on the front end alongside the parking sensors. And yeah, overall, that is the front end of the Ghibli. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front, and then two 85mm tires again wrapped around 20-inch wheels over in the back. Now coming back to the wheels, let's actually go over the design here. So first off, I love how you have the darker element there in the center portion, and then how you have the silver on the outside. I think that looks really good. And then notice the brake caliper painted to match the body color. That looks really good as well in terms of the contrast between that and the wheel. Got the venting here on the side with the GranLusso logo, and then notice we've got the chrome trim around the windows on the door handles and all that, so it all kind of matches together. Now here's the trunk area in the Ghibli. So first off, notice that we can lift this little thing up, and guess what? We've got our spare right there where it kind of lives out its whole life. And then, sorry if it's not very visible, the sun's crazy today. Storage space back here is actually really good. It's a larger size trunk because it is a larger size car, but my favorite part is the fact that I don't have to lower it. I just have to press that and then it goes back down for me. I mean, what more could you ask for? Let's go over the rest of the rear. So first off, notice that we've got these LED lights right here. You've got the SQ4 logo, got the Ghibli badge on the other side with the Maserati logo, parking sensors all along the bottom, and then we do have the exhaust tips, which look really nice. And by the way, the exhaust sounds amazing. But yeah, other than that, that is pretty much everything for the rear. Now here's the door panel in the back. Notice we've got this beautiful black leather at the top with the stitching, and then we've got nice wood trim down below with the accenting that comes all the way to the door handle. I love how it all matches. We've got more leather down here, and then where you're going to rest your arm as well. You actually can lock and unlock the door from the back, which is pretty interesting. And then here are the seats in the back. So full leather, we've got the Maserati Trident, we've got the perforated leather all down the center portion. And then notice you've got some vents here and all that, and then this pulls down to be some cup holders. You've got little leather strap, sorry, you can pull down and got that whole section. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for the back. So got to touch it on the side and so yeah. Now here's the door panel in the front. So again, we've got that same beautiful leather right here. We've got all of the white leather down below with the wood trim. And then again, we've got the silver accent that continues to the door handle. Notice this has the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. The speakers look really nice. You've got all of your controls for the window. And then notice you've got the power folding mirror control as well. And then here is the seat at the front, so you guys can see you've got all the leather here, and then just down below we've got the perfect leather in the center, and then we've got the adjustments on the side of the seat right there. We've got the pedal layout right here just down below, and we've got a light control here, the stop start button, and there's one more look before we pop in. Now here is the steering wheel in the Ghibli. Notice we've got this really nice white leather on the outside, and then it's kind of hard to tell, but there's the wood trim here on the center that kind of dissects all around the steering wheel. It gives it a unique feel when you're grabbing it. We've got our voice command phone control. We've got the controls here over for the cruise control and then the lane keep assist as well. Again, Maserati logo in the center. And then notice we've got the little turn signal / windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. We've got analog gauges for the speed and for the RPMs, and then there's a couple different menus you can scroll through here for the vehicle itself. Pretty straightforward setup. I love the look of it, and I love how easy it is to use. And some of you guys might recognize this little center screen, but yeah, that's pretty much all for that portion of it. Now there is a couple different drive modes. We've got our ice mode, normal, and then we have our sport. Sport kind of opens up the valves and makes it a little bit more aggressive with the driving. But yeah, that's everything for the center. Now before we go over the center infotainment system, notice that we have our little clock above here, and then I love how it has the leather on the top of it. Now as for the center infotainment system, the first part we'll go over is, wait for it, the backup camera. So we've got the 360 view with the reverse camera, and then there's a couple different camera views that you can see out of that. And then notice you do have trajectory lines for the front. But yeah, overall, really good camera system. Resolution on it's solid as well. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you guys will notice we're in the climate section. So first off, it does have heated and ventilated seats, and notice you can go to the climate zone right here to control all of that. And yes, I do have it on full blast max AC right now because, well, yeah, it's very hot today. But aside from that, touchscreen's really easy to use. Response time on the screen is great. I love how you have this shortcut to the vehicle, so like you can do the rear sunshade, for example, if you want, or you can close it back down, and then you can even lock the glove box. And then you have this for like the regular apps. So it's just cool that it has all the shortcut buttons, and yeah, overall it's really easy to use. Now down below here we've got our controls for that climate system. Again, it does have a dual zone climate, and then this is where the wireless phone charger lives its life. You have to just click it. There we go. I wasn't clicking it right. That's my bad. But anyways, you can see that's, again, where the wireless phone charger is, all that kind of stuff. And then we can see here we've got the shifter for that 8-speed automatic transmission. It does have a manual shift function. We've got the hazard lights, stability control right here. We've got this for the auto stop start, the ice mode, sport mode, the suspension. That's for the parking brake. And then this is for the radio control. I love how it has like the double stack look. Cup holders right here, more storage space. And then we've got this for the center console and even more storage space. Notice everything's covered in leather, including the dash and the glove box. Nice metallic trim for the handle of the glove box. It is lined with felt, and that's all for the bottom part. Now up top here, notice that we do get a sunroof. The controls for it are just right here in this area. And then this does have a nice suede headliner, which is definitely a huge plus. Looks really nice here with this particular car. And then universal garage door openers, and also the headliner matches the rest of the car. That like never happens. Now here's our window sticker. So again, you can see it's a GranLusso. My favorite thing is how it says, with standard class exclusive, I can't pronounce that, but I love how fancy it looks. Let's try it. Ermenegildo Zangna Silk. Oh my God, you know what? I need to quit at this point. So anyways, here's all the standard equipment. Feel free to freeze the frame on that. And then all of that. And here's the total MSRP, $101,485. Well, let's take this out and drive it and not listen to me try to pronounce words because I am completely uncultured apparently. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off here on the Ghibli. So you guys can see visibility over the hood, and turn down the AC for a second. There's your visibility through both of the mirrors. They do have blind spot. And then here's throughout the rest of the rear. Let's set off. We are setting off here in the Ghibli, and first off, let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So first off, from a ride quality perspective, and I mentioned this in my other Ghibli review, it's actually really smooth. It's very nice. Definitely fits what you need from a luxury car perspective with the ride quality. And so you notice this airbag cover is actually really nice. I didn't mention it in the walk around, but just looking at it now, it's a really nice airbag cover. Aside from that, yeah, definitely has all the luxury car stuff inside. Let me turn down the AC a little bit. I will suffer a little bit so you guys can have a little bit better of an experience. Aside from that, sound insulation is actually pretty good here in the Ghibli as well. And yeah, it has this nice experience where it just feels like this nice, smooth, quiet luxury car when you want it to be. The one thing that this car doesn't have that the other one had that I reviewed is the gigantic paddles. This one has no paddles. You still have the manual shift function with the shifter. You just don't have the cool paddles, which, I mean, it is what it is, right? Or as my friend says, it is what it is. Anyways, aside from that, I don't know what that Prius is doing. Brakes are good. At least we found that out because that person decided to like randomly stop. But yeah, just overall, definitely a nice, smooth, quiet car. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there, but what I was saying is this is very smooth, very quiet. Just, it does all the luxury car stuff. And I love this interior, like all of the touch points, even the stuff that you're not really gonna touch, like down here, still leather, over here is still leather, like everything just looks really nice. Like Maserati has just stepped it up a massive amount in terms of the interior quality. Like I feel like they always had pretty good interiors, but now it's like, wow, this is a really nice luxury car interior. It's definitely a step above, and I really like what they've done here in the Ghibli. Both the Ghiblis I've reviewed today, just been super impressed with the interior quality. Now I'm gonna pop it over into the sport mode. It instantly downshifted for me, which is pretty cool. That's cool, it just auto downshifts. Now the other Ghibli review I'd manual shifted. In this one, I'm just gonna keep it in the automatic mode and see how that goes. Again, doesn't have the paddles. I can manually shift it, just have to put the shifter over, but for this review's sake, we will not be doing that. And it really doesn't feel like that big of a car. It is a bigger car, but it doesn't feel bad at all. Transmission's so smooth. This 8-speed by ZF is just fantastic. It's such a good transmission, and that's why so many car manufacturers are using this transmission, is because of how smooth it is and how quick it is with the shifts. Yeah, I love the braking. It's the perfect amount where it's not super touchy, but it's still enough where you just get a really good amount of stopping power. Now we're taking a turn here, and we're gonna get our full-blown acceleration. Definitely a quick car. I'll get a better acceleration just up in a moment, but people decide that they don't know where they're gonna turn. Like, this is the second time where someone puts on their turn signal, starts to turn, but then goes back into the lane. I don't know why, but that's just how people are driving in downtown Salt Lake today. It's, you know what, it happens. Again, it is what it is, but yeah, it's definitely a quick car. Like, the acceleration is just punches you, and I love the sound of this twin turbo V6. The acceleration is very smooth. You definitely do feel a little bit of turbo lag, but then once you get into the turbos, it's super smooth. But it just, overall, I love the sound. It's such a nice sound quality. Look at that, we got an AMG GTR and a Lamborghini Urus, both green. That's pretty cool to see. Stuff that we see here in downtown Salt Lake. Maybe I need to film here more often just for car spotting, but we're gonna go over here, and then we'll kind of get an acceleration and cap things off. Gosh, it sounds so good. I love this V6. Maserati, their exhausts are just the best. It actually handles pretty well. But let's cap things off. So, if you're looking for a larger sized luxury sports sedan that sounds fantastic, has a nice interior, has that dual personality where you could daily drive it, but then also have fun with it, that's really where the Ghibli shines. It's such a good overall package, and the interior, they've stepped up the game with the interiors. Let's get some things up for our video on this 2021 Maserati Ghibli GranLusso. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to Maserati of downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Ghibli. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.